Okay, welcome everybody to today's Leon Draisaitl Stan Bowman media availability. Today's run of show, we'll just have both Stan and Leon make short statements before opening things up to questions. To ask a question, please use the raised hand function. We will allow one question and one follow-up. We do have a large number of people in the room. We'll try to get through as many people as we can today. With that, I'll turn it over to Stan Bowman. Go ahead, Stan.
Thanks, Jamie. Welcome, everyone. Great to be on the call here today. I just want to start by saying I'm thrilled to be able to announce that Leon's going to be an Edmonton Oiler. This was my top priority since I took over a month or so ago, and it's great times for everybody in Edmonton and all the Oilers fans around the world. I've had the pleasure of watching Leon as a fan the last couple of years, and he sure is great to watch all the special things he does on the ice, and he's a competitive guy. He wants to win, and he wants to win for the Edmonton Oilers, which is the way I feel as well. So with that, I'll turn it over to Leon.
Yeah, first of all, thanks everyone for joining today. First of all, I'd like to thank the Cates family, Daryl, Renee, Harrison, Chloe, the kids, for believing in me and committing to me and committing to my family for a long time. And I take great pride in being an Oiler, and always obviously wear my heart on my sleeve. But I love nothing more but wearing that jersey and representing our city and our great fans. So I'm really, really happy and excited to hopefully be an Oiler for life.
Thank you, Leon. With that, we'll take our first question. We'll go to Jason Greger. Go ahead, Jason.
This one's for Leon. Leon, congratulations. I'm not going to say a negotiation like this is ever easy, but did you always want to stay in Edmonton, from Connor, the team, and just can you maybe comment on signing in the actual city itself?
Yeah, I mean, of course, there's a lot of chatter in these conversations and in these negotiations. I think we all know that, but as far as I'm concerned, it's always very respectful, and there's no real big hiccups as far as I know, and just what we've built over the last couple of years, and how at home I feel in Edmonton. I don't know anything other than Edmonton, and I feel super proud and excited to wear that jersey every single day. And like I said earlier, I take great pride in playing for our city, for our fans. And yeah, I think we're building something really special, and that's just something that I want to continue to be a part of, and hopefully get it one step further.
One last one for you, and I guess, Stan, you mentioned this is your biggest priority. When you look at Leon's contract and obviously Connor and Darnell Nurse, and then you have Evan Bouchard, some people wonder if you can have four guys at that combined cap hit, but Florida just did, and Tampa Bay's done it. Do you feel you can have both of high-end guys and the depth to win?
Well, I think the simple answer to that question is yes. The more important part of it is, players like Leon are special. Like, it's just there's not many people in the world that can play hockey like he does, and there's no way we could ever replace what Leon brings to the table. So he's a huge part of our team. He has been, and he will continue to be. And for me, it was never a question. Certainly, there's going to be challenges in the future, but that's for us to figure out down the road. I think right now, the most important thing was to make sure, number one, that he wanted to be in Edmonton. And I think that's something we should all focus on as well. He made this decision. I mean, certainly it was my number one priority, but it took a cooperation with Leon wanting to be in Edmonton. And when that was obvious to me after talking to him, and, he just wants to win. I had a chance to, I'm getting to know him better, and the thing that really stuck out to me is he's super competitive, and what drives him is winning. So when I hear those things, we'll figure the other stuff out down the road. But for now, we're just thrilled that he's with us.
Thank you. We'll go to Jack Michaels from 630 Chad.
Hi, Leon. Congratulations. I'm just curious, was there a sequence of time, maybe it was 2 years ago, maybe it was 4 years ago, where it became evident to you or you started to feel like, I'd rather stay in Edmonton than go shopping, than test the market? Because that can be appealing on both sides. I'm just curious, was there a sequence of time where you started to feel like, I can't imagine leaving here?
Yeah, I think that just evolved over time. I think when you, as a young kid, as an 18-year-old kid, you start to really love, being with a team, and especially the team that drafted you. You develop, I don't know, yeah, a love for that team, and for me, it was always the Oilers, and obviously we haven't gotten the job done yet, which makes it, to me, even more special, right? Like we're gonna do this together. We're all pulling on the same rope here, and yeah, I'm just, again, excited to be a part of it, and excited to keep chipping away at the ultimate goal, and we all know what that is, and just over the years, what we've built with our group, how tight we are with our group, all the new guys that are continuously coming in, they all say the same things about our group, about our city. They love playing in Edmonton, and I think we've created that over the last couple of years, and that's very special, and looking to continue that.
Thank you, Leon. And Stan, just a quick one for you. I think, I asked you about, in terms of trying to extend the championship window and giving yourself as many cracks at it as possible. You seem to indicate Leon was the first giant step in doing that, and hopefully giving this team another 5 or 6 looks at it. Is that how you kind of approach this negotiation?
Definitely. I think that's true. I mean, all you have to do is watch the team on the ice to see what an important role he plays on the team, not just last year, but the last several years. So when you look at that, there's no question that we want to make sure he stays, and it's our job to try to surround him with the best players we can and give our team the best chance to win. But absolutely, I think you stated it very well.
Mark Spector, Sportsnet.
Thank you. Leon, it's hard to describe $14 million as taking a little bit less, but the fact is that there probably could have been more for a player of your stature. The question I have is this: nobody knows more than you and Connor that a two-man team doesn't win. So when you're going into a contract negotiation, how do you weigh being paid what you're worth, but saving enough so Stan can build a team around you that can win the Stanley Cup?
Yeah, it's a fine line, and I think that's where negotiations normally probably get to a standstill, right? And it doesn't go any further. But I think both sides, like I said early on, were very respectful, and way this was negotiated, and the wants and needs for both sides. And yeah, I think you're bang on. We know how you can't win with 2, 3, 4-man rosters. That's just not it's just not possible in this league. This league's too good. So I'm very happy it's done. It's over with. I can focus on playing my game and continuing to get better, and play my best hockey, especially when it matters most.
You said to me in January that at the end of the day, you and Connor will do what's best for each of you, but you also said you'd be having discussions with Connor before you made this deal. How much can you let us in on, you and Connor, and he's got to sign next year, and your conversations about you signing long-term, and, how much of a duo are you guys in this thing?
Yeah, I mean, that's still the case. Like, Connor's going to do what's best for him, right? Like that's just the way this works, and it's supposed to work that way. I did what I thought was best for me personally, Do I hope that Connor follows along? I'd be lying that no, but of course I want him to stay on board, and you know, I want all our pieces to stay on board. But at the end of the day, you know, I did what's best for me. Obviously, having talked to him, we've had numerous conversations about it. But yeah, obviously, I'd be lying if I said I wouldn't want him to you know, stick around for a long time as well.
Thank you. We'll go to Ryan Shog from TSN.
Hey, Leon, congrats on the deal. Can you maybe just describe the two elements to this, you know, wanting to win a Stanley Cup and be with an organization that you think, you know, has the strength and the personnel to do that, and that being important, but also the other side, which is, I mean, you guys have kind of come up together, a core group, and, you know, you're starting families and at weddings, and like, it seems like you've built something on the personal side here too, and how much each of those factor in when you make this decision.
Yeah, a lot. I mean, you know, we've created friendships over the last couple of years. Our wives, fiancés, girlfriends have created friendships, like forever lasting friendships over the last couple of years, and that's really, really special. Our main priority is to win, of course. That's, you know, you can ask Connor, Darnell, Nuge, Jaimo, everyone, all the guys. We all want to win. But I think what we've created off the ice is almost, you know, almost just as important, right? People want to come here, and when they do come, it's hard for them to leave now. And I think we've created that over the last couple of years, and that's something that we're really, really proud of. But the main priority is to win the Stanley Cup. But certainly have made some lifelong friends along the way.
I imagine you took some time to process everything, but as you guys have gotten together this summer and been together as a group, you sort of processed how close you were and what the steps are to get you over the hump. What were those conversations like when you guys sort of regrouped together?
Yeah, I mean, it took some time. You know, that was a pretty gut-wrenching feeling for a little bit. Obviously, there's a sense of you know, being proud of what we did, but at the end of the day, nobody talked about the Edmonton Oilers, right? And our goal and what we all want is the last day of the season for everyone to talk about us. And we took some really big steps this season. I think we added some really, really good pieces this summer. Of course, unfortunately, lost some really good players, but that's part of the business. And you know, I really like the way our team looks right now, and I'm excited to get going.
Bob Stauffer, 630 Ched.
Stan, you negotiated Taves and Kane at a time in which maybe Cap was chasing the revenue. Was this negotiation a little bit different? Because in a way, you can make an argument right now, maybe the revenue's chasing the Cap a little. And did that get factored in terms of, you know, the price point you eventually were able to settle with Mike Liut and Andy Scott?
Yeah, I think I'll touch on something Leon mentioned earlier, which is, you know, it was great dealing with Mike and Andy. I thought, you know, it was very respectful negotiations, and, you know, as any negotiation, there's always some challenges that you have to navigate together. But I thought it was a great process, and I enjoyed working with them. You're right, Bob. I think the financial landscape of the league is a little different than it's been, in a positive way, as far as the revenues have been tremendous the last few years. And, you know, coming out of the pandemic, there was the situation of, you know, paying back the players, paying back the owners for those first years of the pandemic. We're beyond that now, and the revenue projections from the league look very healthy, and I think that bodes well for where the salary cap is headed. There's always some uncertainty with that, but I think different than, say, 5 or 10 years ago, when the cap was going up each year, but maybe it was going up potentially artificially a little bit. I think now there's more certainty that it is going up based on the revenues. So I think that's a great sign for the league in general. And as the revenue goes up, the players' share of that goes up, and the top players get compensated the way they should. They make a difference, and they're the ones that are the special players, so they deserve it.
Thank you, Bob. We'll go to Daniel Nugent-Bowman of The Athletic.
Thanks, Jamie. I have a question for each person. I'll start with Leon. Leon, congratulations on the deal. There's a few stars around the league that recently have kind of signed kind of that mid-range deal, 4, 5, 6 years. I wonder how much of a consideration that was for you, because it would have allowed you to maybe sign another big contract in your mid-30s.
Yeah, I mean, early on when you start talking to your agents, you go through every scenario. But for me, again, I think this goes back to just the commitment from my side to the city and our team. I have a hard time picturing myself in a different jersey, and I know things change. I'm aware of that, and I understand the business side very well. But for me, I wanted to be an Oiler for life, hopefully, and for as long as I can. And I thought the option of an 8-year deal fit the best for me.
Great. And for Stan, I just wanted to follow up there on that previous question about the Taves and Kane contracts. Understanding that the landscape is a little bit different now, was there anything that you learned about putting a team together with having, some guys that have higher end salaries at the top of your budget in terms of, filling out the rest of your lineup?
Well, certainly, the math is what it is. So you have to have low price players coming into your team, each year, whether that's through a young player who's moving out of the junior ranks or American League and getting in the NHL, or if you can find players on like I guess the Oilers did this year, finding some experienced players taking less money, shorter term deals. I think having the ability to bring in players that are going to help support not only on the ice with what they can do, but also with their salary cap structure. So, I think drafting, developing, finding players, young players that can contribute, I think that's something that's going to be important to us as we move forward. And that's going to be a focus for our group in the front office over the coming years, is to make sure that we do a good job not only drafting and developing players, but getting players ready to move into the NHL lineup that are not, at top salaries.
We'll take a few more here. Stephen Wino from Associated Press.
Thanks, Jamie. I also have one for each. Leon, obviously, now that you have the contract negotiation out of the way and you've been to Game 7 of a Cup final, what is it like kind of knowing how close you guys were and what it takes to get to that point and potentially finish the job?
Yeah, I mean, excuse my language, but it sucks thinking about it over and over again. Obviously you can't be much closer than what we were. But at the end of the day, you're standing in a way. But we've gathered a lot of experience, a lot of positive signs over our playoff run, and we have a big chunk of the group back, and I think we're ready to attack again and apply these messages and apply these moments that we've learned along the way, last season, last playoffs, into this season. But of course, we all know that you have to get there.
Thank you. And Stan, obviously each negotiation is different, but now having Leon sign, what does this mean for a potential negotiation with Connor McDavid? I know you can't sign until July 1 next year, but what does this potentially mean for getting Connor re-signed long-term as well?
Yeah, each negotiation separate. So I don't know how it will impact it. We're going to treat that as a separate, contract. We'll be talking to Connor and his agent at the right time. So I think all I will say is obviously it shows that we want to win. And I think, we believe in Leon's contribution to the team, not only in the recent years, but what it's going to be coming up. And hopefully that's a sign that, we're we're moving forward to try to, like Leon said, we couldn't get much closer than last year. So we just want to take that next step. So that would be the message, which is, you know, we want to win and we're going to do everything in our power. And hopefully that's, you know, going to be something that Connor likes to hear. But the negotiation itself will be, you know, it may be different or it may not be. It may be very similar. I don't know, but looking forward to having that conversation.
Okay, final two questions here. Steve Sandorf from Canadian Press.
Hey, Leon, congratulations on this. Question I have, and some other players have told me in the past, that when you're coming out of a new contract signing, you feel that you put a little extra pressure on yourself. Are you going to feel that pressure? You feel that you're going to put that on yourself going into this, knowing that you've committed for a large chunk of your career to the city?
You know, there's pressure, of course. I don't know about the word pressure. I think it's responsibility more so than pressure, maybe. You know, I'm aware of my responsibility. I'm aware of the commitment that Daryl and the Cates family and the entire Oilers organization has given me. You know, it's my time now to give that back in a way, right? And I'm aware of my responsibility. Is it pressure in certain moments? There is pressure, but you know, I'm going to get paid a lot of money to be able to handle those moments.
All right, thanks.
Last question, Adam Proto from the Hockey News. Adam, go ahead. I guess that's it. Thank you, everybody, for joining us today. Have a good rest of the week, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks for training camp.
Thank you.